Recently, while taking out the radio control cars for a bit of a blap, I noticed that I had the need for some storage, but also a place I could do any emergency repairs. These DeWalt TSTAK boxes are really handy, and I have a few left and one of those rolling bases, plus they actually make a really handy stool. How could I turn this stack of boxes into some kind of mobile stool / workbench? I had to sit down and think of an idea. And so I did. I sat and I pondered deeply. Very soon after, I had an idea. What if I could make a workbench that would stack on top of the TSTAK boxes? Yeah, like that sort of thing. That's the one, right there. After more thinking of how I'd attach it, I realised I had a computer and a 3D printer and the internet. I found these TSTAK spacer block, mounting block, benchtop things on Thingiverse, and so I set to work printing out a set. In yellow, of course. I mean, what were you expecting? Teal? Cut scrapwood benchtop was a bit oversized, so I had to expertly measure it out so I could cut it down. I 3D printed a car stand so it would be extra fancy, and then set to work marking out some small indents where the legs would sit, so hopefully it would be less folly over-y. I used a large framing square to, well, square up the marks. Look at me being all woodworkery. Look at me go. I used a scrap to set the height of the straight cut bit of my router, and then had to find a space to route. Anyone who doesn't know, you've not seen the videos, these are the Barrys. This is Beeblebum, and this is the only workplace I can find. Sorry about the Blair Witch camera work without some direct sun, so we're going to work out here. Are there any other functionally sort of blind woodworkers out there that have to pick between being able to see and being able to protect their eyes? And that's kind of the situation I'm in. Roundovers were added for extra fanciness. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Beeblebum. I've been worried about the alarming amount of radio-controlled car content recently. I decided to engage in some chisel abuse to prove that I still do woodworking. Selecting my appropriate chisel victims, I set to work scraping and pushing and grunting and generally not making much progress while trying to hog out the little recesses. I chiseled for hours, okay, well, minutes, many minutes, many minutes. And eventually, I didn't finish chiseling, but I did give up. There's nothing like swapping a boring job for another boring job. Sanding, and sanding, and sanding, and then some sanding. I'm not sure whether the top ever got smooth, or whether the splinters just got bored and went home, but eventually it was time for glue. This glue. I applied liberally conservative amounts of glue, politics joke, and then decided to gently but forcefully rest the top while it could dry. I used the offcut to make sure that it was sort of lined up and centralized as much as I could. Then I had to try and find something heavy to rest on it, and Frank's seed is all I could find. Hashtag sawdust effect. After a little while, the glue was dry enough, I could remove the top and then drill the holes and put in the screws, my favourite DeWalt screwdriver. Not bad, eh? Time for a quick shakedown in the shed where I stack up some boxes and see if it all goes together. the way, if any companies want to send me free stuff, I am more than happy to be a corporate shill. This channel has no morals. And there you have it. There's the Mark II Escort being a model, I guess. Hashtag not an RC channel. Just need one tiny more thing. It would be wrong to not include it. Did I mention that's coffee PLA? Because everything's better with coffee. Oh my gosh, you can't even screw that thing in right. And look, they're like secondhand screws. Poor. Hashtag not an RC channel. I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. That's it. The stackable radio controlled car pit workbench box thing is finished, and it works, and it's got a little stand, and here it is being tested out with some of the other cars. So that's it. I promise there is no more radio controlled car content coming. I'm done. I'm spent. I'm a spent force. Honey, it happened again.